Welcome to Franchise Addicts, a podcast that covers every film in a given franchise. My name is Luke,
And I'm Chris.
and we are talking about, for our second movie of the Isolation series, the 2011 film Drive.
Yeah, excited. Very excited about this one. This goes into our origin story, Luke, for the listeners out there. I was wearing Luke and I were at a location. I was wearing an A24 shirt, and he's like, "Hey, man, that's cool."
That
And he's
is
like,
cool.
Have you ever seen the movie Drive?" And I was like, "I think so, maybe a long time ago." He's like, "You should check it out." Cut to, we're texting about Drive, and the rest is history. The rest is history. So this was this film, in a way, is it responsible for part of Franchise Addicts? Maybe. I can't say it's not. I can't say it's not.
Yeah, that and Titan,
Yeah,
your other movie shirt you wear a lot.
that's it. I mean, yeah, that shirt's getting a little crusty at this point in time, but it's still there. You still break it out sometime, and I'm like, is that from the 2021 film that I don't know how Titan? What is it? Is the woman that has relations with the robot movie
Hey,
that we all know and love.
we all know and love that film.
Timeless. But speaking of timeless films, let's get
Drive
into
it.
this one.
Drive is a timeless film. I think it's one of the better films of the 2010s. Like
Mhm.
I said, comes in at 2011. Director Nicholas Winding Refn, who to some people is a good director, to many others a blowhard who cares only about visual landscapes and trying to capture the coolest thing possible while making kind of bullshit movies
Yeah,
and
I mean,
TV shows.
thin. Oh, because okay, I gotta get his like IMDb pulled up here. But so because he did a show, yes, but I mean, I think yeah, like thin plots, sure, thin plots, but that's kind of part of the whole shtick, in my opinion. Yeah, so I think I'm a fan, obviously, but yeah, let's get into it.
Yeah, I think the first movie I saw of his was Bronson,
Okay, yep.
and Bronson is spectacular. And then I saw Drive and just like doubled down. This is one of my guys. I'm going to watch all of his new stuff coming forward. Only God Forgives. And then he kind of starts making TV for Netflix and he does an Amazon Prime show. Is that too, or I'm thinking of the book name.
It's Too Old to Die Young?
Is it Too Old to Die Young? Okay.
Yep, that's what it's yeah, and then The Copenhagen Cowboy, and he was director of both those, and Agatha Christie's Marple?
There you go.
Uh, yeah, so I mean, for some reason, I thought that he did The Place Beyond the Pines, but
No,
that's just
different
because
guy.
it's just Gosling, and that's kind of the same era, like, also just kinda being, like, a badass. But, yeah, I mean, he doesn't really I think, his popular films I mean, Bronson I've heard of. He's got he's got stuff starting as early as '96. I guess this was his first movie made in America, from what I read, and then
I
I
believe
haven't seen
so, yeah.
Only God Forgives. Neon Demon, big deal. I think a lot of people enjoy that film a lot.
Yes, I think there are definitely fans of it. Like I was saying, I think Ruffin has like hardcore fans, people that are like, this guy has a visual style that I love and enjoy watching. And
Yes.
then the detractors are just like his movies are about nothing. They're about like sex and violence
Yep.
and shot with neon lights constantly and super dark.
Sign me up.
That, that's kind of my thing, man.
Yeah, I'm like, "That sounds awesome. Can I get more of that, please?" Like,
And
that's
this is a very Chris movie because it's very vibes based. It's like
super
you
vibes.
just kind of sit in it and just let everything happen to you, and it looks spectacular. Like there is no movie that quite looks like Drive, shot in L.A.
No, or sounds like. I mean,
Yeah,
as far as the constant soundtrack,
the techno pop beats.
yeah, I mean, it's that and also the placement of it, like, you've got these long, spans of silence, which and, like, lack of dialogue, which is a whole thing, lack of main character names, but then when they pipe in that, like, dreamy synth wave, I mean, I'm sure you played, like, Vice City, Grand
Yeah.
Theft
Oh
Auto, right?
yeah.
Like, it's just it's that it's that vibe the whole time, and it's not set in any I don't really think the movie ages itself per se as to, like, when it I'm trying to think, like, do they use cell phones? I Yes, they do.
They do. He's listening to a Clippers game at the start. The Staples Center is there, still called the Staples Center, no
Was
longer
he's got
called the
his
Staples
L
Center.
his LA hat. I'm just a fan of LA. Yeah, no, and so, I mean, yeah, I guess there's hints, but, like, I just yeah, the style is so vibes. Yeah,
So Nicholas Winding Refn famously does not have a driver's license
really.
and thinks that driving is scary, so he gets driven around everywhere. And him and Gosling met to discuss this film, kind of his ideas about it. And apparently it was a horrible meeting. And like they were both just kind of bummed out because they couldn't quite figure out what the movie was supposed to be about. And they rode in a car back to wherever they were going. And REO Speedwagon's I Can't Fight This Feeling came on.
Yeah.
And they sat in the car listening to it silently, and then Refn turns off the radio and goes, "That's the movie." A guy's sitting in a car listening to pop songs,
That's
driving around LA.
that's awesome. I did a little in initial research that this is based on a book that came out in
Yep.
2005, right? And
Yeah,
that
so that book is I got it here. I believe it's called Drive 2, but the author is James Salas.
Mhm.
And the book is like a very neo-noir crime in LA. Uh, the backstories of the characters are way more fleshed out. The relationship between the Gosling driver character and the Carey Mulligan character is more fleshed out. They have more actual dialogue.
Yeah,
The
not hard.
Gos the Gosling and Oscar Isaac character apparently have been friends for longer than, him just coming out of jail and being like, "Hey, dude, why are you with my family all the time?" So yeah, it is, as books do, way more fleshed out, and I think that part of the genius of this adapting it to being a film is to cut out a bunch of that stuff and narrow the focus to this mysterious driver who has all these kind of rules and ways that he does things. The I show up for 5 minutes, you got me for 5 minutes, and
Yeah.
if you're not there, then I'm leaving. And the moment that he decides to open up his world to other people, to be vulnerable, everything in his world collapses. And coming back to that our isolation theme, like this is a man who is isolated for a reason. We don't really know why,
Yeah, I
but
was gonna say, why do you I mean, he's got a history of violence per se,
yeah, I mean,
which
I
is
think
not really we don't really know, but, like, clearly that's part of it, but, like, yeah, like, where does he
w-
come from? What is his deal?
yeah, we'll talk more about the elevator scene because I think that's kind of the unlocking for that
Okay,
character
okay.
and just why he is so good at violence, why he's so good at driving. These are just the things that he focuses on. This is the way he makes his money. This is the way that he decides to operate in the world. And Gosling apparently just jumped into this part. He apparently helped rebuild the 1973 Chevy Malibu that he's driving around everywhere,
Badass.
and just love this part. And I've talked about this with other people, but I think that Ryan Gosling kind of is the movie star of my generation. Like
Yeah,
he is
for
going to
sure.
be the kind of Robert Redford, the Tom Cruise,
I was gonna say,
all.
but yeah, but
But
he's
but
more approachable.
he's kind of a one of one too, because if you just go through his film history, like he does things that those guys never would have done or wouldn't be able to pull off.
Yes, he has a very, genuine, I don't know, like a sweet, accessible, connective aspect, like, Project Hail Mary, he was the
Yeah.
whole movie, like, it was just like, just let him do it, and yeah, I mean, I think you're right, and he's probably not gonna slow down anytime soon
No.
after like, I think
It's
we're in the midst of a long career, right?
it's like, what if the hottest guy in the world was also ridiculously talented?
Yeah. That's, that's pretty much how it goes. I mean, it was perfect to cast him as a Ken doll in Barbie, but, early on, I think, just, like, looking at this, like, when I started to watch it, it was like, okay, the acting style is almost giving me a reminder of, like, Yorgos Lanthimos, and, like, the way that they're delivering dialogue is not natural.
Hmm.
But I really think that that's really just because apparently so this script was getting pushed around, originally, like, Hugh Jackman and some other
Yeah.
director were tied to it. They're like, "Okay, we're gonna, like, gut this thing." And they're like, "We're gonna take out all this dialogue and, add like, let the, let our, I don't know, faces do a lot of the acting and the silence." And, it's just bizarre, but it works, and it really, like, I don't know, you see that, like, the loneliness, the shyness, the yearning, gentle like, there's the he's a very gentle character, even
Hmm.
though he's absolutely not. And it's all just conveyed in this in, I guess, how you could say vibes. I don't know, like, this movie, like, it has like, growing up, right, sometimes, you're out partying or whatever, you come home, it's been a long night, you're under the influence, and you just, like, watch a movie, but you're, like, kind of, like, not even in the whole right headspace. You're like, "What did I just watch?" It was just like there was a series of things that happened, and I'm not sure how we got there. Like, this film, like, takes that experience and just, like, it makes it for you if you're completely stone sober at, 1 o'clock in the afternoon. As I was watching this, you're like you get that sense of, like, it's just, like, this weird, like, foreboding through one scene to another, and it works, but it's very, very unique, and I can see people that might not maybe not their thing, but, yeah, like you said, it's right up my alley.
Yeah, I and a lot of the dialogue from the book is cut out. Specifically, Gosling and Carey Mulligan decided to just erase almost all of their dialogue and just look at each other.
Yes, it's
Because
very
it's just
evident.
yeah, it's just these Carey Mulligan called it just staring longingly at Ryan Gosling for hours on end was her role for the film.
I think it's interesting too that what it does, especially once Oscar Isaac comes in,
Yeah.
and they do this as well with the music choices, but the silence creates this tension where you're just like, you're just uneasy, and also because film early on has these explosions of very quick violence.
Yep.
Like, it'll go from like, "Hey, we're just talking, everything's fine," to, "Oh my god," all of a sudden someone's got a fork in their face and their throat is cut. So it's almost like, I don't know, just the effect that that has to be like, "Everything's fine, everything's fine, everything's fine," and then you get this outburst of violence, and then, like, going forward, you're just it's, like, always uneasy because like, that could happen at any point, like, almost like a domestic I mean, this sounds weird and is out there, but like a victim of domestic violence, right? Like, they learn, like, "Oh, that could happen at any time," so it's always a little, like, unnerving, and, also the score does that a little bit as well, but it just the effect that this film had on me when is just it's I can't overstate it. Like, it just I don't know. It just it's very, very unique.
Yeah, and I tried this theory out when we were going through the Mad Max series, that Mad Max is a Western. It just happens to
Mhm.
be in the outback in Australia in a post-apocalyptic world. This movie is also a Western. Like, it is
Totally.
obviously a neo-noir crime film, but it is also a Western. The car is his horse. He's the Lone Ranger, kinda out there in the world and falls for the girl with the child, and he has to become their protector. But then he can't once he conquers the evils that are trying to take the wife and kid away, he has to evaporate into the nothingness again because that's his role in the world is to be a protector, but he can never have the thing that he truly wants.
Yeah, totally. The tagline, and I don't know, when I watched this, I bought it on Prime, but it's just like, "Some heroes are real." That was the tagline for the whole film, and it was like, yeah, totally, and he is legitimately and I mean, maybe we could say that this makes a thin character. Sure, 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 but, like, he is a good guy. Like, I mean, well, actually, wait, wait. Wait. He does some pretty,
He does
crazy things
bad
that
really bad thing, but that is one of the reasons. That's the cost. That's the
yeah.
reason why he can't have the nice things is because of all of the terrible things that he has done. Yeah, it is 2 bad people, but, you know, terrible nonetheless.
Yeah, like, I mean, even thinking like he is, like, respectful, even if he's like, "I don't know about this Oscar," like, when Oscar Isaac comes, he's like, "I will just, like, be the friend."
Yeah.
I'm
He's like,
gonna
"Hey,
like,
man, I'm not trying to do anything. Like,
yeah,
I kind of wanted to be alone. This thing piqued my interest, but hey, I respect
I'll even
boundaries."
help you, Oscar Isaac. I will help you out. I will help you.
Done a little bit selfishly. He is doing it so that Carrie Mulligan and her son are okay because he
Yes,
doesn't think that this guy out of jail can handle it.
which he clearly can't.
Cannot.
Which is apparent right away when he comes in and then is bloody and bashed in the parking lot within moments. But first, I think we would be remiss if we didn't get to the one, the only Bryan Cranston.
Well, I got another guy too. The two old guys brought it for
Oof,
this movie because Albert
hell
Brooks
yeah.
is also incredible.
And so menacing. And this is Albert freaking Brooks. Like, this is
Yeah, this is
Marlon. This is,
yeah, the
this is,
Nemo's dad.
he's so nice. I mean, every role, right? I mean, I think this was his first, at least famous turn as being a horrible villain. I mean,
Yeah.
his voice is so pleasant and jovial and just like, but then he's this guy. Great, amazing, wonderful, wonderful casting, and yeah.
Shaved
So
off
the
his
old guy's great.
eyebrows to
He
prove to
did, yeah.
Ruffin that he could play a crazy guy. Apparently, like, pushed him up against the wall in the script reading and was just like, "Hey, I'm Albert Brooks. I have a reputation, but I can play a bad guy if I want to."
Hell yeah.
And then Cranston is basically just doing Breaking Bad Cranston, which is great. Like,
Yeah,
obviously, Emmy after Emmy for that role, but he's so good. Apparently, a lot of his dialogue is improv too because he didn't
yeah.
have he didn't have lines, and he was like, "Why is it so quiet all the time? I'm not gonna be talking."
I just, yeah, and he brings, because and he's so perfect as a
Yeah.
juxtaposition to the Gosling and Mulligan, who are just like very stoic and almost just like almost
Hmm.
I mean, I was even like, as I'm starting, I'm like, is Driver on the spectrum? And like, maybe, I don't know. But then you get that, and that's their style. And then you get Cranston, who's just hamming it up, and he's limping because he got his leg broken by the mob, and he is just he provides all this personality. I love.
And then Perlman's great too. Like,
Oh yeah,
he's just kind of doing the Ron Perlman thing,
he's
but it
doing the Ron
works
Perlman
every
thing.
time.
No, that's a great character. That
Yeah.
character has made him a very lustrous career.
All right, we're gonna
Just
turn on the camera, Ron Perlman. Just be yourself.
be yourself, man. That jaw is crazy.
You just look like a villain and a mob
Yeah,
boss guy. But
that's a
they also flesh out some of his character too. Like, he's not
yeah,
just this horrible guy. He's like, I am 60 fucking years old and the mob treats me like I'm a little kid pinching my cheeks. Like,
yeah,
does it not seem obvious that I would rip them off at some point when I had the opportunity to? And like, Albert Brooks almost respects that. He's like, yeah, I get it. You
yeah,
shouldn't have done that. And I got to clean up your mess now. But
yeah. They do a little bit of the backstory there, which is nice. And like I guess the rest of the other people in the other mob are anti-Semitic or something. And also, Does Ron? Again, but like, does Ron? I guess could Ron Perlman? I don't know. Does he look from Jewish descent? I don't know. I feel
I
like
don't know.
the
He looks
answer
like a
is
modern day caveman.
yeah, so, like, no. Like, I don't know, I mean, whatever, but no, he definitely looks like he's in the new, Cape Fear show that just
Oh,
ended,
okay.
and someone said, like, yeah, it's like he, like, skipped, like, he's just, like, one, like, genus back from, like, from us in evolution, like, he's just, like, yeah, he's old school in that way, but, yeah, I
Well,
mean,
I
so
always
just a
thought
great
that
cast.
he looks like Tom Waits.
But, like, isn't Tom Waits, like, skinnier and, like, smaller?
Yeah, yeah. But they have, if you saw a picture of them side by side, you'd think they could be brothers.
Sure, I believe that. I can't like I don't have the most Tom Waits exposure in my life. More like the voice, but yeah, I mean that
Hey,
tracks.
hey, Chris, it's me, Tom Waits. Do you
Oh,
want to hear
say
me
it now.
sing?
Forever
Oh, say.
I thought that he was in the beginning of Eddington, and I was convinced that the homeless guy. I was like, that's Tom Waits. And like they're like, no, actually, that is totally not. It's someone else. But I was convinced. I was actually telling people for a while. I was like, oh yeah, no, Tom Waits in the beginning
Tom
of
Waits is
Eddington, great.
so good. So good.
He crushes in that. But yeah, I mean, so yeah, all the casting, like, and even I mean, she doesn't have a lot to do, but
Yeah,
Christina
I
Hendricks,
I hadn't seen this movie for a while. I thought Christina Hendricks did a little bit more in this movie. She's in about 10 minutes.
she's in 10 minutes. Lovely looking woman.
Yeah.
You're just like, oh man, the Mad Men days. Yeah, I mean, she's around. Point being though, like there's no wasted cast member. Like they're
No.
all really good. Even for Christina, who doesn't do a lot, like she's in there. She's an actress of note. I feel like when I first saw this, which wasn't obviously even that long ago when I really watched it with you, I wasn't as familiar. Like Carrie Mulligan, obviously, I mean, I was familiar with her, but like I don't know, like, this is just a lot of people that, like, kind of or a few people that went on to have even, like, bigger careers, I guess.
Yeah,
Oscar
definitely.
Isaac and Carey Mulligan. Like, I knew it was them probably, but maybe not Carey. I don't know if I was
Well,
familiar with her.
Oscar Isaac had not even broken through in 2011. Llewyn Davis, I think, is 3 years later.
Yeah.
And that was kinda his big foray into Hollywood, blessed by the Coen brothers, and then has just become, a stalwart of the last, 5 years of movie that he's one of the guys. Gosling, of course, has ascended. Carey Mulligan is like I would imagine she's been nominated
Oh,
for
yeah, no,
some
for
role at some point.
promising young
Promising Young
woman.
Woman, yeah. And
Oh,
I
yeah, and
think
then
I
she's
mean,
great. Beef, she
she
was in the latest Beef season. She's great.
this is for your boy, this is a top 10 girl in movies. Carey
She's
Mulligan in Drive, she's perfect.
She is. She's perfect. She's got like the it's like she's got like a blonde Snow White look. As I don't even know, but like yeah, it's great. They're cast and like looking at the back to this filmography here for Nicholas. This, I mean, I know Bronson had buzz. Honestly, don't remember much about Valhalla Rising. I remember like hearing about Bronson, but then obviously Drive. You heard about Drive. Drive was big. This was a huge success. This made him an auteur. I mean, yes, you get Neon. I don't know. It just like this seemed to have such a this affected his career so in such a big way, and he has such a small body of work afterwards. I mean, there's the TV stuff, but like for kind of just he hasn't really done that much, but, like,
Yeah,
but this was so big, I guess, the impact that this had was so huge for him.
Bronson ended up turning into, like, the Tom Hardy, just him, holy crap, this guy is an incredible actor.
Yeah.
And the direction and cinematography and stuff kind of was the background, and then I think Drive kinda inches us more towards it. You're like, "Whoa, this director has some juice." And then Neon Demon is kind of the full expression.
The
Like,
full
this is
expression.
this is what I want. And then Too Old to Die Young is like, "Wow, that's what's in this guy's head? Okay."
Did you so I haven't seen that, is that good? Do you recommend that?
I think it's one of the most incredible pieces of art that's ever been made, but it is rightly derided as about absolutely nothing and insane ideas. But it is so cool to look at and to take
Sounds
in.
yeah.
And so I love reading neo-noir novels, like One Guy, Crime in a City, The
Mhm,
Underworld, all that sort of stuff. And Refn just does that as good as anybody else. Like
mhm.
he loves getting into, club scenes where everything is kind of in motion around, kind of slowed down a little bit, all the neon lights all over the place. You can really barely detect people's faces because they're all blue all the time. And he has weird angles that he shoots at. Like he loves in this movie to shoot those up angles
Yeah.
over and over again, and it keeps it interesting. It keeps your eye going like, why am I seeing it from here? Why is he doing this? Why is he doing that?
Yeah.
And he's just I think he's so goddamn talented, but
Mhm.
people just do not like his stuff.
Well, yeah, apparently, I mean, I am excited to see Her Own Private Hell.
And
I mean,
that is being derided currently. So that's his new movie that came out. People hate it. You can't
you
see
can't
it anywhere.
yeah. Even the arts theaters at by us in Milwaukee, nope, it's not playing. Like,
Nope.
it's just and it's Margaret Qualley, right? Like, she's the
Yeah.
star? Like, I don't know, man, but, like, when you're talking about the angles, the camera angles, and, like, just being like, "Why is this happening?" and like why aren't they talking or that much, or why like and like why is this music coming in? It just all like lends itself to like producing that feeling of like being like messed up or so, like you're just like, you're like, this is like something's off here, like, and it just like it's so incredible to me when just, yeah, when you're just like shooting something, they can produce that kind of like cerebral effect of just feeling off.
So yeah, let's talk about some of the scenes, get
Yeah.
into depth on those. So we get our opening scene, which kind of establishes the driver character, gives us a layout of the city, kind of his modus operandi
Mhm.
of he is just the driver, but he
Yeah.
is fantastic at it. And he will cut you loose if he thinks that you are in any danger to him getting caught or stopped from what he is doing. We get the introduction to the car, the 1972 Chevy Malibu, and the way that he gets out of that first heist, parking at the Staples Center in the parking garage and then
Cool.
walking off into the crowd. Like, it's so good. Every part of
So
it.
cool. And I love that, again, this happens with the other robbery too, but, like, we don't even see what happens. Those guys that rob the
Yeah.
place, get in the car, they don't matter. They don't have names, it doesn't matter. Like, they're not, we don't care about that. We don't see that. It's just about this. It's just about his viewpoint. And then, of course, when they kinda time it up a little bit with when he's listening to the game on the
Mhm.
radio, just so good.
Well,
It's
just
just
perfectly timing it. He hears the buzzer basically goes off. He knows that everyone's gonna be exiting the stadium, and he can blend right in.
so good.
Even
And
the
it's
avoiding
tense.
the or even the avoiding the helicopter is
Yes.
he's able to keep the tension alive while these guys are just sitting under an underpass.
Yeah, no, there's not, I mean, the cops chase him for a minute, maybe?
Yeah.
Like, but barely, but the whole scene, you're on the edge of your seat, and it's just like, ugh, it's just, again, master work.
And
I don't
then,
know.
yeah, we he gets introduced to Carey Mulligan. We meet the Bryan Cranston character. We get an idea of like kind of his support system. We get with Carey Mulligan, like this guy is capable of loving and being kind and wanting, what's best for her and her son.
Yeah.
And then Oscar Isaac comes in and he's kind of the catalyst for the fallout that happens to Driver's life. But he also just injects so much life and energy into the film when he shows up.
He does, and I think, like, at first, I was like, "Oh, this guy will just be, like, a bad news."
A
Like,
punk,
he's
yeah.
an asshole. He's probably gonna, like, beat her or something, and
Yeah.
it's not really like I mean, again, like, not all the characters have a lot of depth maybe, or, like, they're thin, but, like, he has more than that, and I don't know, like, he's just able to do a lot with a little, which I think when you hire such great actors, you're able to get that done. Like, you just, like, do it, acting just in all the different ways, many of the aspects nonverbal.
Yeah, and I love the scene at the dinner table where Gosling's there and Oscar Isaac's telling the story of how him and Carey Mulligan met. And he even admits like it's statutory, not good.
No.
She was 17 years old. He is definitely older than her.
And then you came along.
But then Carey Mulligan gets kind of the hammer joke where he tells her his name is Standard, and she goes, "Can I get the premium or the
Yeah.
supersize or whatever?" And Gosling's like, "Oh, I this girl is great."
And you just, again, like, it's so subtle, and any time he gets enjoyment, it's like a half smile.
Yep.
Or, it's, so, so, so subtle. Everything is so subdued,
Well,
which
when Cranston lets him drive home Carey Mulligan and her son when they come to the shop to get her car fixed,
yeah.
like that look on his face when Cranston lets him do that, and he's like, "I gotta put wheels on my car because currently I don't have wheels."
Uh, and I mean, we have to shout out, T2, our previously
Always.
covered, yes, T2, but, the scene, which is, such a beautiful scene in a movie that is so ugly, is when he is driving them home, and he takes them through I don't even know what the drain, it's where T2 thing
Oh,
happens.
yeah, the LA River basin.
Yeah. Yeah. So good.
Yeah, the skipping the rocks at the end of it, like, it's really, really good stuff. Then we get to Christina Hendricks being showing up. She's a part of a heist that Oscar Isaac has planned since he has been beaten up because he apparently owes money to some
Mhm.
bad guys since he's gotten out of prison. They tip him off to a pawn shop out in the valley that apparently has the required amount of money to get him to pay his debt. We don't really know the full connections at this point, but Driver finds out about it, wants to help out because he wants to protect the family, and they team up and set up this whole heist that goes completely wrong immediately. And
Right
Oscar
away.
Isaac, he shows up for 10 minutes and gets shot in the back
And then
coming
he's
out.
out. And we get that other car that I don't know, is that an Oldsmobile? I don't even know. But
I
that
think
other
it's a
car
Chrysler 300.
there you go. Pulls up next to it and, so something's off right away. And again, it's just like the whole like something's off. I don't understand what's happening, but there's like bad things are looming. Like, which is like the you could that's almost the thesis of the whole film, right? Something bad's going to happen. Like and it's just it continues to set that tone.
Well, the Driver character has so much control. Like that is the 5 minutes is his control.
Mhm.
If I think it's going bad or if it's taking too long, I'm out. I'm gone in the wind. And this one, he has emotional attachment to it. He wants
Yep.
this to work at all costs, and all costs do then pile on top of him. He's got to get him and Christina Hendricks away from these guys trying to run him off the road. Super sweet move where he hits the e-brake and gets the other car to flip over, gets to, the motel to kind of hide out for a bit. And then
Yeah.
you do see some of the evil. Some of the
Yes.
evil that comes out when he is threatening Christina Hendricks is it is shot and it is filmed in a way where you're supposed to be like, "Whoa, hey dude, like I get it,
Yeah.
but at the same time, not cool."
Yeah, he all of a sudden flips from like silent, sweet boy to like he's
He's a
horrific.
menace. Him
I
putting on
don't
his
know.
gloves is scary.
Yeah, and he's and within that the stuff goes. He's covered in blood, like
Yeah.
very shortly thereafter. But yeah, let's like you want to break down kind of like what happens in this heist or like what the like.
Yeah, so they are stealing from this pawn shop. They don't realize how much money is actually going to be there. We later find out that Ron Perlman knows that the mob has been hiding basically $1 million here and nobody's supposed to know about it. Ron Perlman gets tipped off on it. He wants to steal from the mob that he is a part of and make it seem like it got taken by another group and it's kind of just lost in the wind, but he really has it. And that's the
Mhm.
money that Gosling winds up with that Christina Hendricks brings into the car. And that is the MacGuffin for the rest of the movie is Gosling wants to return it and be like, hey, I give you the money back. We're all good. The mobsters are like, nope, you got to die because you know about it. And we got to clean up or else the East Coast mob's coming in and it's not good.
I love how honest Albert Brooks is about like he's like yeah like no like you're gonna have to like look over. Well, I don't know if I should say always he's honest, but like as far as just just not being afraid to he's like yeah this like I can let her go, but like we're always gonna be looking after you. Essentially saying like I'm gonna try and kill you right away. Like that like this is what's gonna happen. Yeah, very and the I mean, I don't know, maybe we won't get to the kills yet, but he's got that one line after he slices the wrists of, one Brian Crash to be like, "It's okay, it's done, it's done." It's just, like,
And
brutal, and,
and then
like,
puts it away in his like vintage knife collection.
it's just it is jarring and stylistic and also, I don't know, just it's unhinged.
And so we get Driver going back to his apartment to Carrie Mulligan after Oscar Isaac has obviously died. She's been questioned by the police, so she knows what has happened. She doesn't know Driver's involvement. And then we also see that Albert Brooks and Perlman are trying to find Gosling. And so they send a guy. to the apartment and they ride in an elevator together. Carey Mulligan, Ryan Gosling, and this guy that is there to kill Driver. And we get just a fantastic scene where Gosling figures out what's kind of going on. He sees the gun in the holster and kind of turns like he's going to start attacking him, and instead makes out with Carey Mulligan. And then as soon as that is over, then proceeds to beat the shit out of him and stomp his head into a smushed pile.
It's very much. And like, and just what a symbolic, or just like that is another like a summary of like what this film will do, right? Like it's nice, it's pretty, it's touching, and then all of a sudden it is incredibly violent and it is
Yeah.
incredibly bloody, and it comes out of seemingly nowhere to the point where it's just, yeah, it's super jarring with no build up or just no notice, right?
And from the character perspective for Driver, like he wants this one perfect moment with Carey Mulligan's character, that one
Mhm.
kiss, that one taste of that thing that he can never have. And then he stomps that guy dead. And Carey Mulligan watches him do it. And the look on her face when he turns around is just pure horror at what he has just done.
Mhm.
And he can sense the like, that's why
That's
I
it.
can't have these things, because
Can't
I
have
am
nice
this
things.
guy.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, apparently, I'm sure you probably read this too, that original scene was much more gory, and they had
Hmm.
to, like, cut it they had to cut it down. Just yeah. But something about those head bashes, that happened in Obsession too, did you see that yet?
No,
Fucking go, you gotta see it.
I
But
know, I know, I
there's
know.
a head bash scene, spoil whatever, but they, like, had to cut it. They're like, it's something where the MPAA is like, "You can get 5 bashes, but not 8." And they're like, "Well, but we," and then like, "Ah, we settled at 6." It's so funny how that
Can
works.
we
But
still show his head turned into a smashed pumpkin? Okay, all right, great.
yeah, for 2.5 seconds, we'll let you
Okay,
have that.
that's it. That's all you get.
A full 3 would be egregious. We'd have to rate it NC-17. So,
And then it
but
just
yeah,
basically turns into a showdown, the last kind of shootout between Driver and the Albert Brooks character.
yeah. I mean, he makes
He
this
has the Ron Perlman where he knocks him in the car off the edge and then drowns him in the ocean.
stops at the strip club
Oh
with
yeah,
the hammer.
has to do that with the hammer.
That is,
I love the hammer with the bullet to the forehead.
it's so
Great threat.
brutal,
Great threat.
so brutal. And again, this shy, gentle Ken, all of a sudden is like, I'm going to hammer a bullet into your skin. That's crazy.
Well, and then he
So
makes him swallow it too.
yes, he is very sadistic.
Yeah,
Like,
this guy might be a serial killer.
like, yeah, it's like, oh, he's actually not okay at all.
Well,
Like,
he
oh my
is
gosh.
technically a serial killer.
He totally is.
Yeah.
Yeah, by the end he is. And then yeah, we get the final showdown, and we see it through the shadows. Again, such a cool move.
And
Yeah.
then the ambiguous ending.
Ambiguous ending, leaves the money, doesn't want the money, right? He doesn't want
Mhm.
it. And again, you could be like, could the critics be like, see, this is more like, it's so thin. It's just, this is all like, this. But I think what you have to realize is these movies are in no way really supposed to be rooted in reality. And maybe
No.
in Drive, it's harder to tell because we're not having neon demons or whatever the hell's happening in his latest film, and it is kind of supposed to be in whatever the real world. But like, yeah, this is like art house. And so like, yeah, no, he's representing this kind of persona of this, like, this crazy, murderous yet somehow moral compass having entity that is Driver, no name.
And I love the resting the camera on Gosling's face, unblinking after he's been stabbed by Albert Brooks in the car, and you don't know if he is dead or alive.
Yes,
And
yes,
I
yeah.
I should have gone back and counted how many seconds it's a long time.
Mhm.
And then you finally get the blink, you finally get the key in the ignition and the drive away, and that's it. That that
That's it.
is that is the Driver character gone out into the wind again.
It's just so perfect. Like they like that. It's like, as far as like, they're like, he got the assignment, or like, but it's just like all the things that, like, I don't know, all the rules and all the styles that this movie establishes. It just like touches on them again and again in such cool ways that like it's I don't know. It's it's great.
All right, let's get into our awards.
Let's do it.
So, Chris, your favorite scene
All
from
right.
Drive?
So this is tough and like, part of me would say even like that opening scene is
Yeah.
so great. Part of me would you maybe want to get into the some of the very violent moments, but what I'm going to do because this film ultimately at the end does such good job with vibes and like this like dreamy state is choose the scene where he drives Carrie Mulligan and her son home. And
Oh, yeah.
that when they go through the LA River and it's just because it's like if this whole movie is vibes, even if some of the vibes are like nightmares and you're like shaken out of the like the cool synth wave, this is the one scene where you're just in it. You're just in it, and it's fleeting, and obviously most of the film is not dreamy and wonderful and picturesque, but, like, you get that, and of course, it's everything. It's the shots, it's the cinematography, it's the music, and it's just it all is just it establishes this perfect, fleeting dream that ultimately will never actually be, but, like, beautiful, and what does that I mean, that's life in a way.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with the elevator scene, tip my hand
Yeah,
on that one. But
yeah.
I think that the slow motion during the kiss, the music swelling,
Oh, yeah.
the lighting kind of turning into this, like, I don't know, it's just so like, no elevator is lit like that ever, period.
No.
Like, they're not cinematically lit, and he somehow is able to bring all of that into it, and it doesn't break the reality of what you're watching. It's so perfect, and then for the kicker at the end to have the mulligan look on her face,
It's great.
and it just encapsulates what the character is, what the movie is about, and really hits that Western neo-noir feel,
Yeah.
which I just I will always be a sucker for those types of movies and books forever. All right. This one, potentially a little bit harder. Our favorite performance from Drive.
Mhm. Okay, so, I mean, you can be like, "Whoa, Gosling." Okay, sure. I would stand by that. But I feel like I don't know, like, is it fun? Because like, as I was saying, they're all so good. I'll go with Albert Brooks.
It's a great pick.
I'll take it. I mean, like, there's so many good but, like, just, like, especially because of, like, his backstory, like, who he is in Hollywood, who he is and everything, and, like and then just this turn, it's very good and disturbing and, really makes a huge impact.
Yeah. And there was a little bit of a campaign to get him Best Supporting Actor nomination for his role in this. This movie did win Refn Best Director at Cannes.
Okay, yeah, I was
So
gonna
this movie was awarded, not in the Oscars, but internationally.
yes.
I'm gonna go with it would be funny if I picked Ryan Gosling with the Mission Impossible mask, and only when he has the Mission Impossible mask.
Yes, we didn't even talk about that.
I think that is maybe the goofiest part and the one part that doesn't quite work, because why does he need to have his face blocked if he is going to just kill Ron Perlman anyway?
No, it's, weird style choice. You get that's not maybe the most memorable, but, it is weird, it's off-putting, and it's just
Yeah.
like, "Why is this happening?" I mean, it produces that effect of weird confusion.
I'm gonna give it to Carey Mulligan.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
think she doesn't have a ton to do in this, as is what happens to female characters in a lot of these types of films, but I think that she and Gosling, their chemistry works super well together. I think she's one of the main reasons for it. I love the way she looks, the way her eyes are just staring all the time, and the
Yeah, gorgeous.
sadness that they can produce, and
Yes, yes.
she is yeah, she is doing a lot of great stuff in this film, and is kinda, she gets to have live the happy life after, or a
Well,
happier life after.
she's the heart, right? Because in this world of violent men,
Yes.
all the guys are just like, scumbags that are trying to kill each other. And then she comes in. So, good choice.
I MVP. I've got
Yeah,
a weird
so
one for this one.
okay, I'll go with Refn. Because I mean, I love. I mean, it's almost right. Like Gosling is so crucial. I heard right that he like Gosling like picked Refn to be the director because he had more star power at the time. But yeah, I mean, this kind of really got this guy's style, and this established him as an auteur director, even though many people might not like him as one of those, and he doesn't have a huge body of work. But he the stuff that he does do is so very distinct, and I think like to your point, Bronson was more of a vehicle for Tom Hardy, and this is like he really got to start cooking and show what he could do and his vision, and this is it, and it's amazing. So that's my
I'm gonna go with the soundtrack.
that guy. What's his name?
Cliff Martinez had the score, and then obviously there are licensed songs that are a part of it.
That guy just passed away. The guy Kavinsky. So the opening song
Oh,
is
yes. Tick
yeah,
of the
and he
Clock by
yeah, and
the
he
Chromatics. Oh, you're talking about Night Call.
Yep. Yeah, that's it. And he just yeah, he's a French DJ, and Nicholas Winding Refn he just paid him tribute. Like this all just happened a week ago. So yeah, he's best known for Night Call, and he died at 50. So anyways, yeah.
And I'm gonna give a specific shout out to A Real Hero by College featuring Electric Youth. That
Okay.
is the song that plays while he's driving them home, and then plays at the credits.
Yeah.
The like a real human being.
Yeah. It's great. Like it's cool.
He
It's
Driver
robotic.
just wants to be he just wants to be a real boy, a real
Yeah.
man out in the world with love and happiness. And no, he has to be a driver for
He's a violent, murderous, driving
serial killer.
robot of a human. Yeah. Serial killer. But you
That'd
know,
be so apparently there is a sequel to this novel. Refn said they will never make a sequel to the movie. But I think
until he needs some money, maybe. They'll be like, no,
I think
I
what
don't
would
think
be
so.
hilarious, and I'm sure this has been done in the literary world before, is to make a sequel to this movie, and the sequel is the cops investigating a new serial killer in LA. They're like, oh, he has killed a bunch of mob people that had mob associations, but we kind of have the same DNA going at all 5 of these brutal murder scenes.
That's a good idea. Write that book.
We'll write
Write the
that book.
sequel. Yeah, it's just like the other side. I wonder if that's been done. That's a good idea.
There we go. Well, he's not quite Dexter, but he is a little bit of Dexter.
You know, famously, I've seen episodes of that show, but I was such a 6 Feet Under fan that I couldn't see Michael C. Hall as
So
that character.
I did it backwards. I was a big Dexter fan in high school and college
Yeah.
and watched all but the last 2 seasons, which are what ruined the show. And
I've heard
then I
that.
watched 6 Feet Under later in life, and it was so hard to
Yeah.
adjust because I think that Michael C. Hall is like one of the best character actors, like
Great.
TV actors, like period. Like he's so incredible, but he's almost so good in Dexter and 6 Feet Under that you can't tell the difference between the two characters. I kept
Yeah.
on thinking that his 6 Feet Under character was a serial killer too.
Yeah. Yeah. I was like, oh no, that he's just like he's the sensitive, gay brother. Like that's who he's not a serial killer. I don't know.
But
But
he's really a sensitive serial killer brother
yeah, brother.
who is not gay in Dexter and has many, many girlfriends who he eventually has to let leave him, essentially, or they die because of his involvement in their life.
Did you ever see there was like a comedy thing like with Tim Robinson and Bobby Moynihan about like bowlers, and Michael C. Hall is it's like a hard comedy, and he's in that. I don't know
I,
see him in a lot of other stuff, but
I wish he would do more stuff, especially in the movies,
yeah.
but apparently he doesn't want to. Our rating out of
All
10
right.
for Drive.
Like I said, you know, I this had a big impact on me. I think it's a very special film, so I'm gonna go 9.3.
Whew!
I know. I swung big, you know?
I'm going to give it a 9.1.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair.
I think if you're putting a list together of movies from 2010 to 2019 to fill out that decade, it's got to be in your top 20 at least.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't know, like, I that's the thing. Ooh, maybe this could be a future episode of and I know that your top movies always changes, right? Like,
Yeah.
what are my top 10 movies? But, like, as like, "Oh, as of, like, like, September 2026, here are my top 10 movies." Like, that's an interesting exercise, and I wonder if this might be it would be lower, like a 9 or a 10, but, like, I don't know, it might be. I think Arrival has entered my top 10 after our
What a great film.
episode. Oh, yeah. Anyway, so yeah, that's right. Next up, what do we have?
I don't think we've actually decided on what we're going to do. Oh, no, we did. It's Her. We're going to be doing
Sure.
Spike Jonze's Her next.
Man, banger after banger. This is
Another
great.
Chris favorite.
Yes, that's literally so people will be like, "Well, what are the two that I can always cite if someone's like, what are your favorite movies?" I say, "There Will Be Blood" and Her, which is like, I don't know, there's a character study into the, us peek into the mind of Chris, but love it. Can't wait to do it.
Yeah, fits another role in our isolation series. So we had The Thing, which is like literal isolation in Antarctica.
Mhm.
We have Drive, which is isolation in a big city, all alone with everyone around you, kind of doing your own thing that nobody really knows about, and the inability to have a family or have people to care about. And then Her is the super future modern, well, now it's turned into modern day, falling in love with your AI because you can't fall in love with actual human beings.
So timely, so ahead of its time. This was a 2013 film, and now it's happening. Can't wait to talk about it.
And Spike Jonze is just, he's one of the best filmmakers that nobody talks about.
Yeah, and just I didn't he do you know he was in, what's that movie from 1999 about, like, 3 kings?
Oh,
You know that?
he
He's
does
like
show
one of
up
the he's like
in
one of the
things all
main
the
cast
time.
members. Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't I didn't even I learned that because of that book I just read about 1999 films. Anyways, we'll talk about it.
Also, famously, he directed all the Jackass movies.
Yeah, and the Buddy Holly video and
Yeah.
the Fat Boys, like,
Yeah,
just
he's a huge music video guy.
and a weirdo, which I love.
He's a weirdo.
I love it. Awesome.
All right, that's what we have coming up. Thank you, Chris.
Thank you, Luke.
And
Talk to you
thank
soon.
you all.
Thank you all.